This time on Custom Works, we're looking at some of the finer details. Them like little nostril things on the front of an F100 and the vents down the side of the bonnet. Also, we're going to be making the buck for the tailgate. Probably going to make that in MDF and then prime it and paint it. Ready to take the mould off, ready to make the actual tailgate for the truck. So, let's get on, let's make some stuff. Alright, so, nostril, F1. I'm going to show you how I made it. So obviously I've made this one without filming it because I didn't know if it had come out very good, but it's come out okay. This is all right. So they're left and right-handed. So for the base, I cut this piece of, what is this, like 5mm Foamex, something like that, 4 or 5mm Foamex. What I've used this like cork. Now this cork is you put it under washing machines, stuff like that, and it stops the vibration happening. That's what I think it is. Someone gave me a load of this, so put it in the comments below if you know where I can get some more, because I'm getting pretty low on it and it's quite useful stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to super glue that around there using Mitre Fix. In this case it's called Mitre Fast, but whatever. And Kicker to dry it immediately, and I'll put that all the way around there. Of course though, I will rough this edge up first. There we go, big D. That's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to shape this up. To do this, I'm going to use an angle grinder with a sanding disc. I'm going to hold it on my leg and I'm going to do it like that. You know, don't try this at home. I'm sure there's an easier way. You can put this on a belt sander or anything. You don't have to be a special idiot like me. But I'm going to do it anyway because that's the way I roll. So then, there it is. This edge is all nice and flush now. A bit of glue there, we'll sort that out. And there's a nice sort of bevel about up to the centre of the piece of cork stuff. Now, just because I've not got a really tiny angle grinder, I can't actually get in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hack this bit out with a knife and then sand it. So I think now it's time for time-lapse montage. Okay then, so sanding, always a pain in the ass. I mainly use the electric long block or the Air DA sander, but sometimes you've got to get in there and sand. Now, one thing you always get if you sand with the discs, you fold them over and you go to sand, and you get this sort of like double flapping. To stop that, sanding disc, contact adhesive, spray the sanding disc, shake it like a Polaroid picture, and then fold it over, and then the two pieces of sandpaper are sort of held together, and as you sand, the sandpaper on the back acts as a grip for your hand, so it's just a lot better. So that's it, my 5-second tip. Alright, so I've glued the middle bit in there that we saw before. Like I say, these will be cast off in some like harder resin or something. They won't just be cork and Foamex on the final thing. So there we go. And there they are. Wow, it looks like a real F1. I can't believe it, man. I'm going to make a silicone mould so I can cast these off. So in the future, I want to make another WTF 100. I've just cast a couple of these and on they go. I've just put this detail inside. Okay, so I'm going to make first a little box. So I've got this base piece of Foamex. I'm going to glue some Foamex here and here, and that will make a box ready to fill with the silicone mould making stuff. So here we go. there it is. I've got them in there. There's a little bit of space around. I don't want to make the box too big, or else, you know, you're going to have to use loads of the mould making stuff. What I'll do now, mix up the mould making stuff, pour that in, give it about half an hour, and then bang. Okay then, so what we're going to do, we're going to fill this up with the Easy Mould. Just a few more details on how I made this box. So it's Foamex, and then I've used super glue to stick it all together. Well, the super glue like Mitafix. So it's super glue, but then you get the spray, and it sets it instantly. You can make things so quick with this, it's really good. That's it, that's the silicone stuff in there, and then just leave it to dry for half an hour. Okay, so the silicone is all dried now, this silicone mould, and I've stripped the box off, and these come out nice. And don't forget, these are just made of cork and nonsense. So now what we can do is fill these up with resin, and then we'll have actual moulds. Okay then, so on the side of the bonnet we've put this sort of trim, I think on the actual original truck it's a vent, on the side of the bonnet. So first we use the Foamex to build up to make this little swage line that they have at the front from the original steel pressing, and we've done that, smoothed all that in with filler. And then to put these lines in, once again we've used some of this nasty chrome trim. So 2 bits of that. And then we've cut a piece of 4mm Foamex and stuck that on there to give the bit where usually it says Ford. I'm not going to put Ford on it, you know, I'm just not that brazen, but yeah, that's going to look pretty good. We've smoothed it all in at the back, and today we'll be getting a coat of black high build primer on that. This part as well, once the car was all in black primer, I did notice that this side of the bonnet was slightly lower than that, so we've done a little bit of a spot repair there. We've also added some of the factory seams to the car. So there's one here and this huge one here. We've got this prime now, and you know, this little swage sort of press line that's in the steel of the proper truck. That's looking pretty good, and we've got these trims on. I've left this bit blank. You know, this could be cut out of the once it's made in fiberglass. Could cut this out, or could put a row of dimple dies down there, whatever we wanted to. Okay then, so at the back here, we're going to have the tailgate, and the tailgate will come down to about here, and this is the fuel tank of the taxi. Now, one thing with the original truck that I never really like is you have the 2 rear fenders coming down either side, the tailgate, and then you have like a gap. But you know, we want this truck to look slammed on the ground, so I'll make the tailgate down to here, some sort of bumper, and then I'm going to roll the pan underneath the car, and that rolled pan will just tidy up everything, hide all this ugly fuel tank and the suspension and everything, and just give the back just a more tidy, sort of coherent look. Alright, so here we are, here we have a piece of MDF. Now, you know, if you've not watched this series of films before, I'm just making stuff to take moulds off of. So I will take fiberglass mould off of all of this. So I'm not making the tailgate out of MDF. It's going to be something a bit better than that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the basic size I want it to be. So I'll be cutting down this line on the table saw, and then adding the bits. There's sort of 3 squares on there. There'll be some sort of framework around it. Some bits at the side, and that'll be the tailgate. Now the tailgate is not going to open on this truck. It's just a fancy rat rod truck, so the tailgate won't open, but it will look as close to the original as we can get it to. This is the back panel of the truck, made it in MDF. Again, I'm going to take a mould off of this and make this as a fiberglass piece. And what this will do, this will sort of cap the whole back of the bed, so the two sides, everything, this cloaks everything in, like, done. Whole top, everything done, all in one piece. It's just bits of MDF stuck together, really. These are just strips glued on. Again, I use mitre fix. These panels, I've just, you know, rounded them up with the angle grinder, and then made the top, which is the top of the bed at the back of the car. As it's MDF, it's really woolly. You know, these bits are so fibrous where it's broke through. It's smooth on the face but woolly there. So I'm going to use a high build primer and hope to get, I don't know, maybe 2 litres of primer on this, and then tomorrow what we'll do, we'll flat it down. Hopefully then we'll be able to do a gloss coat over it, and that'll act as a release agent for the fiberglass. So join us next week. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be actually making moulds and seeing if all of this hard work has actually paid off. And also, in making of the moulds, we'll be smashing everything up that we've already done. So it's going to be great. Okay, so that's it, another week. Big shout out to Bugs. I know you watch every single week. And also, remember to subscribe, to click the bell icon, and to give us a big thumbs up. Until next time,